So once again, it is a great opportunity to connect with leaders and specialists who have been really working in 3D and 3D printing technology and 3D solutions and simulation. Here today I have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to interview Dr. Pravin Shetty, who is the founder with Toothsi, a brand that we all can reckon with. It's flashing everywhere in terms of a solution that it is actually offering when it comes to clear aligners. But it's so important that for us to know that there's a lot of effort going back into the entire process. I did have an opportunity to go through that particular setup, and the way it functions, very systematically validated in terms of the products. The process is very clearly defined. Supply chain processes, all of that is a real hard effort in terms of getting the final product to the end user, and in a very efficient way. So here I have the opportunity to interview none other than Dr. Pravin Shetty, who is the founder and who is in the epitome of this company, and have taken this metal to offer solutions in orthodontics in clear aligner business in India in terms of scale. It's a great opportunity to connect with you, Doctor. Just in short, in terms of where it all started, Doctor, I mean 3D printing and 3D technology, as in these two aspects, because we are also talking about simulation and software, but 3D printing being the core, at the core. Where it all started and what was your passion driving this organization Toothsi going forward?
Yep. Thank you, Shibu, for discussing on the journey of the inception of the 3D printing over here. Actually, being an orthodontist, it's like always my the inquisitive mind to understand that what we can do new thing in orthodontics. So that journey led me into developing my own lingual bracket system, which is known as lingual matrix. So frankly, it was like India's first CAD/CAM based lingual orthodontic braces, which is made through a 3D printer, but not like a resin. It was from metal 3D printer, like a leather centric. So this is like way back in 2008 and 2009, where I literally developed my own system through the reverse engineering software, through the CAD/CAM technology, and through the leather centric. And then as the science evolved, the new technology that ushered into the field of orthodontics is clear aligners. And now these clear aligners, started replacing braces in toto by using 3D virtual software to move the teeth, to get the virtual plan, and then once the virtual plan is been created, this virtual plan goes to the 3D printer, and in the 3D printer we literally manufacture the models in a different sets on which the aligners are fabricated. So these aligners, it started in 2013, and thereon we shifted from lingual braces into the aligners, and in 2018-19 we conceptualized in getting into a bigger form of business, that is B2C to B, by giving the best technology, the best science, the best product, using very high-end printers to the patient with a proper support, intervention and guidance of orthodontist and dentist. And that's how Toothsi came into act in 2019.
This is a case of a 13-year-old growing child with a lower jaw deficiency. So along with the dental treatment, he also needs some of the skeletal treatment. So this is how we've planned for him. Expansion is taking place, the dental corrections are taking place, and also the simultaneous jaw correction is taking place. So this is what was planned and explained to the patient. And now we will take you through the results which we have achieved during the follow-up of the same patient. So we have a patient case file that has been maintained, wherein the clinical delivery orthodontist as well puts his or her inputs. Even if the patient reaches customer support, the customer support inputs are also maintained in the same patient case file. Also, the patient is trained to send us monitoring videos and photographs if the patient is not able to come down to the clinic. So these monitoring videos and photographs are also maintained in this patient case file presentation. So if you want to compare the pre-post results of the same patient. So this is how we started with a complete deep bite, with a lower jaw deficiency, and this is how the follow-up goes. You can appreciate that the dental correction has taken place, the deep bite is also considerably corrected, and the lower jaw deficiency is also addressed. This is just 6 months down the line. His still further dental treatment is going to go on, his monitoring is going to go on till we achieve the perfect result that we have promised to the patient.
Thank you. So now we saw the process while doctor explained about the process that is achieved from the customer to the STL file coming to the company Toothsi. Now we have Uday sharing the process even further once that is the data comes into the system and how the process flows from there on to get the final print. Yeah.
So once we received all the models from our planning team, we will try to create a build and maximize the build plate utilization. So currently we can see here a build plate that we are preparing for one of our machines. So we are trying to optimize the space and create the build plate accordingly. Once this is done, this will be sent for our 3D printers. So let me introduce Shivam. Shivam takes care of all technical aspects of 3D printing and automations for us. So he will take us through 3D printing.
So over here you can see we have 3 different sets of machine on this side. On the opposite side over here we have German imported machine. So the machine you can see that in the machine you can see that there is a this is way more faster and a big bed size of 750 by 650. So at a time you can in a 4 hours duration you can quickly print around 200 models in one cycle. So this has a capacity of printing 800 models in one day. So 2400. So currently with this capacity we have 6 machines and we can easily go up to 3,800 models in a day. And as you can see that there is a lot of ample space where we can easily put up some machines and we can amplify it up to 6,000 to 8,000 in least time. So over here we have 2 DLPs with us. So it's a LCD based DLP, not a regular projector based DLP. It's a LCD based one from a single point source. So this is the one in which we print models at a time. We can print 6 to 7 models in a duration of 5 minutes. So it is one of the fastest currently across the globe that we have. And over here, the other one we have, it prints aligners directly. So we can print aligners at a time. We can go for 6 to 8 aligners in a single go, and within half an hour or 2, you can get your aligners ready.
So we also understand Toothsi has also been into this patent product in the resin material, which can directly print the aligners. If you can just explain it to us in detail.
So these are the direct printed aligners. We are in partnership with Graphy. These aligners are printed and cured. It is memory shape aligner. What is memory shape aligner? It as the temperature goes up, the flexibility of aligner increases, and as it cools down, it takes the shape back to original shape. When I heat this aligner in water, it will lose its shape. It gives the flexibility, which is more helpful for patients to wear the aligners. So now we can see we have heated the aligner, so we can mold and change the shape to whatever it is. As it cools down, it will take the shape of at whatever temperature that it is cooling. Once we put the aligner back into hot water, it will regain the shape that it is originally cured at. This flexibility helps patients to wear the aligners in a very easy way, because the initial resistance that it has because of teeth movement goes away. Complex cases can be treated with these aligners because insertion is now possible, as well as retrieval is very easy for these cases.
So here we have Dr. Rahul, who actually is responsible for actively seeing that the process in terms of is met with in terms of the clear aligner and manufacturing of Toothsi. Doctor, very good afternoon. If you can just explain to us in terms of how the entire thing works in terms of the final product going to the customer.
Right. So I think you might have seen the previous process where the 3D printed models were generated. Those 3D printed models, the resin models, they come to the production supervisors and the dentist. So what the dentists do is basically they see each and every model before it goes to the aligner production. They see that the model is completely formed, there are no defects in it, and plus if there is any clinical coordination regarding those models. So if there is any clinical defect, the models will be replicating the similar defect. So we have to make sure that clinically patient do not feel that kind of problem. So that clinical relevance is checked by the team of dentists and orthodontists here. These dentists and orthos, they check every model, they advise any kind of irregularity, any kind of prosthesis, any kind of deep undercuts which needs to be corrected. Now once that process is done by these dentists, then we move to a critical process which is called as thermoforming. Once the thermoforming process is completed, a resin model, it needs to withstand the pressure and temperature of this machine. So this is how the end product looks like. It's not a complete end product, we'll be doing some further process to it. But this is how the model will be adapted to the aligner itself. So the next process after thermoforming is the laser marking. So what we do in laser marking is we do identification of the patient's aligner number as well as the patient name. The identification of aligner helps in getting the idea which aligner patient has to wear at which time. Now if you see, the aligners are getting laser marked with an intense laser, but it is not penetrating the aligner completely. So once the laser marking is done, we are able to identify which aligner number each patient is supposed to wear. Now the important thing about these aligners is that they are biocompatible. They're biocompatible with human body. The sheets which we procure, they are also biocompatible. Plus the process which we are doing, that is also biocompatibility accepted. So we are ISO 13485 2006 certified. We are US FDA 510K process certified. Now what that process defines is that every aligner which is being produced, it is following a similar process and it is as per the medical regulatory requirement. Plus we also do is QMS, which is quality management system. So these three process helps in the like accurate process which needs to be implemented.
Thank you, doctor. Doctor, where do you see the challenge today? Because I know the growth of and the potential that a clear aligner business would have, and it has been growing with time. And Toothsi also have been able to create a brand of its own. But where do you see that there is a disconnect, or is the materials going to be an area that you want to see and address? Also having these manufactured in the country, because the quantum of work that you do in terms of the aligner, the models are huge and it's big in numbers. So do you think eventually you might want to even get into that space of materials and develop and tie up with a research agency in India to look at that as an option?
Yeah, so that's a good question, Shibu. And to mention about the few challenges, definitely the first and foremost challenge is about convincing the patient and creating a complete awareness about this new technology which is available at an affordable cost, and making this technology more accessible to entire population, like to the billions of people in India, because this is a new science where the people are not aware that there is some form of such treatment available, and that too at the fraction of the cost which was available in the foreign countries. And to provide this message to everyone, this is a big marketing effort which need to be done by public government participation, one. But as a front runner in the field of aligners, we have taken that mandate on our side, and we are doing a huge amount of motivation, education, information, using influencer, and creating a more and more awareness in this field of aligners. And then the second challenge is definitely in terms of software, in terms of hardware, in terms of 3D printers, because we being a country where still we are manufactured in India, but nothing is been produced by India. Like if you talk about a 3D printer, you talk about resin, you talk about plastic polymers, nothing is been conceptualized in India. Still, we have to rely on Western countries to import from there. So there is a huge cost for this product to come from outside of India into India, and then to make it more available to our patient. So suppose we have the best of the minds in India, so we sit together and we formulate in such a way that we manufacture ourselves in India, something really made in India, made by India, so that we can cut the cost and make this best technology available to our people, so that they can use this new technology. They can witness how the new technology has revolutionized their way of smiling. And if you see, like, all the products still we are getting from the Western countries or from the Korea and Japan, so we need to get the complete reliance of such product from those countries to a bare minimal. So there is a high scope of developing something indigenous from the 3D printer, from the resins, and from the plastic polymers.
Right. Doctor, one more thing is, now we also are looking at, in terms of the expansion and the way that Toothsi is actually gaining traction in terms of business. I see a lot of opportunities that you've created for, young doctors and orthodontists to come in the space and learn the design, understand the design, because design is also a very key aspect, because at the end of the day, it is also materials being one of the aspects, but design is also very, very important. You actually are also setting the benchmark in terms of creating jobs, very, very important also to create like-minded people to come in this place. Do you think training and education can be a great idea going forward for design in additive manufacturing for orthodontists?
Yes, definitely. Like entire the ecosystem what we created, like from the lead generation to the designing and to manufacturing to delivery to support all the patient, this requires a great amount of training at each section. Means everything, like the technology is new, the product is new, we don't have that much of ready-made skill available. Neither the aligner technology is still like incorporated in the curriculum in the dentistry. The newer science has been not covered in the dentistry. So our own pass out right now, nobody knows what is this new technology, how to use the machine. So there is a great amount of lacking is there on this aspect or segment in our curriculum. So one, definitely the curriculum need to incorporate all these newer sciences. The newer technology should be taught in the undergraduate and the postgraduate, so that the moment our students are pass out, they should get some opportunity in the 3D printing industries, whether it's a medical or it's in a dental. Plus there is a great amount of softwares are available now. Like dentistry is one subject which is getting revolutionized by the digital technology, be it in CAD/CAM, be it in designing, be it in rapid prototyping, milling, anything. So there is a great amount of technologies coming in dentistry, and we as a dentist, it's our responsibility to be trained or to get trained in this all newer technology. And just talking specifically, we have a well curated curriculum or a training session for our people. Moment anybody join our company, whether it's a dentist, orthodontist, they go through a rigorous training for 2-3 months, understanding the software, understanding the digital technology, how we can move the teeth, how we can design the smile, then the machines, then the 3D printing, then the robotic automation. So we are doing like near about 8,000, 10,000 scans per month. So to cater such a big volume, there has to be tech, and to get a tech, we need to be training this. So entire ecosystem in Toothsi is being totally tech enabled, and the purpose is to provide this solution to the world at an best affordable cost.
Thank you so much, Doctor, and wishing you all the very best to keep leaping high in terms of where you are ambitioned, because I know from where it all started as a transition for the last 6 to 7 years, you're getting a lot of traction. Wishing you all the very best, Doctor. Thank you so much for your time.
Just to add, like I think Shibu, like we started this lab from 100 square feet area to 200 to 400 square feet. And now we are having one of the biggest 3D printing facility in India, which is spread more than 20,000 square feet, and it is US FDA 510K cleared as well as ISO 13485. So having the state-of-art facilities with a great amount of robotic, and I would wish, and I will welcome those who want to come and experience the manufacturing facility. They're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you.